machine opened up a wormhole. A tunnel in the fabric of space-time, also known as an Einstein-Rosen bridge. Because of general relativity, what I experienced is approximately 18 hours passed instantaneously on Earth.
Now, isn't it true that these wormholes you speak of are merely theoretical predictions? There is no evidence they actually exist, is there?
There's no direct evidence, no.
Tell me something, Doctor. Why do you think these aliens would go to all this trouble, bring you tens of thousands of light years, and then just send you home without a single shred of proof?
They said that's how it's been done for billions of years.
That's very neat, Doctor. You have no proof, because they didn't want you to have any. A phenomenon known in psychiatric circles, I believe, is a self-reinforcing delusion.
Is that what you think, that I was delusional?
Well, I do think you may have suffered some kind of an episode, yes. I do. Doctor, I'd like to propose an alternate hypothesis, if I may, and I'd like you to bring your considerable scientific expertise to bear on it. To, fake a signal from Vega. What would you need?
You would need a satellite to transmit the signal, but it would be impossible to simulate something.
You'd need a satellite, and you'd need launch capabilities to put the satellite into orbit, and of course, the message itself. To put something like this together, so complex, drawing on so many different disciplines.
Would be impossible.
Impossible. Impossible. Is there anyone who might have been up to the challenge? Someone with extraordinary technical expertise, enormous financial resources, someone perverse enough, eccentric enough to have come up with the idea in the first place?
Hadden?
S.R. Hadden.
You're implying that this was all some kind of a hoax, that he engineered this?
S.R. Hadden, a legendary power broker and manipulator, in perhaps his final bid for immortality. Maybe he wanted to explore and exploit experimental technologies and get the governments of the world to pick up the tab. Perhaps this was his final altruistic gesture to unite the world in some common goal. Maybe all of the above. S.R. Hadden, a brilliant and complicated man. Doctor, are you familiar with the scientific precept known as Occam's razor?
Yes. It means that all things being equal, the simplest explanation tends to be the right one.
Exactly. Now, you tell me, what is more likely here? That a message from aliens results in a magical machine that whisks you away to the center of the galaxy to go windsurfing with dear old Dad, and then a split second later returns you home without a single shred of proof? Or that your experience is the result of being the unwitting star in the farewell performance of one S.R. Hadden, a man with the means, the motive, and the opportunity to play you, and indeed the rest of us, as pawns in the biggest, the most elaborate, the most expensive hoax of all time.
Dr. Irwin, you come to us with no evidence, no record, no artifacts, only a story that, to put it mildly, strains credibility. Over $500 billion was spent. Dozens of lives were lost. Are you really going to sit there and tell us we should just take this all on faith?
Please answer the question, Doctor.
Is it possible that it didn't happen? Yes. As a scientist, I must concede that. I must volunteer that.
Wait a minute, let me get this straight. You admit that you have absolutely no physical evidence to back up your story.
Yes.
You admit that you very well may have hallucinated this whole thing.
Yes.
You admit that if you were in our position, you would respond with exactly the same degree of incredulity and skepticism.
Yes.
Then why don't you simply withdraw your testimony and concede that this journey to the center of the galaxy, in fact, never took place?
Because I can't. I had an experience. I can't prove it. I can't even explain it.
But everything that I know as a human being, everything that I am, tells me that it was real. I was given something wonderful, something that changed me forever. A vision of the universe that tells us undeniably how tiny and insignificant and how rare and precious we all are. A vision that tells us that we belong to something that is greater than ourselves, that we are not, that none of us are alone.
That's God, honey.
I wish I could share that. I wish that everyone, if even for one moment, could feel that awe and humility and hope. But that continues to be my wish.
As a person of faith, I'm bound by a different covenant than Dr. Arroway. But our goal is one and the same: the pursuit of truth. I, for one, believer.
So what happens now? We give her a medal?
I say at least a healthy grant. I assume you read the confidential findings report from the investigating committee.
I flipped through it.
I was especially interested in the section on Arroway's video unit. The one that recorded the static.
Continue.
The fact that it recorded static isn't what interests me.
Continue.
What interests me is that it recorded approximately 18 hours of it.
That is interesting, isn't it?